Your child is calm, they are playing happily, everything is fine, and then you say 4 words. It's time to go. Suddenly, they're screaming refusal, they drop to the floor. Maybe something gets thrown, or maybe they go completely quiet, like they've left the room emotionally. And you are standing there thinking, what has just happened? We were fine. If this happens in your neurodivergent house, I want you to hear something very clearly. You are not parenting wrong, and your child isn't giving you a hard time. They are having a hard time with transitions. And in this video, I will actually help you understand what's happening in your child's brain during transitions, why meltdowns appear out of nowhere, and the research-backed strategy that genuinely help. So stay with me, because halfway through this video, I'm going to give you a simple script you can use in the middle of the meltdown. Hi, I'm Izabela Doyle, a neurodivergent family coach. On this channel, I help parents understand explosive behavior in ADHD and autistic kids, so you can reduce meltdowns and bring calm back into your home. Today, we are talking all about transitions, because once you understand what's actually happening inside your child's brain, everything changes, including how you feel about those moments. When adults think about transitions, we imagine something simple, just moving from one activity to another. But for a neurodivergent brain, a transition is actually multiple brain processes happening all at the same time. Let's look at what happens when you say, time to go. Your child has to stop what they are doing, shift their attention, remember the next step, and start a new activity. Now, imagine your child's brain like a laptop with 20 tabs open all at the same time. School stress, noise, social effort, fatigue, and then suddenly we ask the brain to open 4 more tabs at once. Sometimes the system just crashes. So the problem isn't motivation. The problem is cognitive load, which means the same transition might feel easy on a relaxed Saturday morning, but completely out of reach after school. Because now the brain is carrying fatigue, hunger, sensory load, and social stress. And there is simply no switching capacity left. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. A child is playing happily. A parent says, 5 minutes, and then we go. The child says, okay. But when the moment comes, boom, full meltdown. Not because they were being difficult, but because their brain ran out of switching capacity. But executive function is actually only half of the story. There are 2 neurological factors that make transitions even harder for our neurodivergent kids. The first is time blindness, and this shows up so much for our ADHD and autistic kids. Because for them, time is abstract. They don't feel time passing the way we do. So when we say 5 more minutes, their brain doesn't experience a countdown. Instead, it feels like everything is fine, I can play. Everything is fine, I can play. Everything is fine, I can play. And then suddenly, time's up, which feels abrupt and unfair. Have you had this happen? Your child agrees to leave and then meltdown exactly when it's time to go. That's often time blindness. The second is intolerance to uncertainty, and this shows up a lot because our children's nervous system often experience uncertainty as a threat signal, not just discomfort, actual neurological stress, which leads to something that surprises so many parents. Even positive transitions can trigger meltdown, birthday parties, holidays, trips, not because your child doesn't want to go, but because their brain is saying, I don't know what will happen, I don't know what to expect, and uncertainty equals danger. Have you ever noticed your child melting down right before something exciting? If you haven't, this is why. And understanding this alone can completely change how you respond. Research shows the most effective place to intervene is before the transition happens, not during it. Here are the strategies that make the biggest difference. The first is making time visible. Instead of saying 5 minutes, use something the brain can see, a sun timer, a visual timer, a color countdown. Now the brain sees time ending, not just hears about it. One dad told me his daughter melted down every single time they left the park. The day he brought a sun timer, the meltdown never happened again, because now she could see ending coming. The second is visual schedule. Working memory struggles make it hard for kids to hold sequences in their head, so we can externalize the plan for them. Example routine might be picture of waking up, picture of breakfast, then getting dressed, shoes on, bag, and out the door. Nothing fancy is required. Photos on a piece of paper or little pictures will work perfectly. One mom I work with printed photos of her son's morning routine and stuck them on the fridge. Within a week, their mornings changed dramatically, not because he suddenly became more cooperative, but because his brain didn't have to hold the whole routine in memory anymore. The third meaningful warning is, instead of repeating yourself 5 more minutes, add structure. For example, 2 more turns on the swing, and then snack, and then we go in the car. Now the brain knows what is ending and what comes next. The fourth is priming. Prepare for transitions when your child is calm. For example, tomorrow we are going to the dentist. First we park the car, then we will sit in the waiting room. Then the dentist will check your teeth. Reducing novelty reduces stress. Even when you do everything right, meltdown will still happen sometimes. So here's the script I promised earlier. When your child is overwhelmed, the thinking brain goes offline. Explanations won't work, reasoning won't work, lectures definitely won't work. So instead, reduce language, reduce stimulation, stay present. Here's what it actually sounds like. I can see this is really hard. Pause. I'm here. Pause. You are safe. That's it. Short, calm, and low demand. Your job is, in that moment, not to teach. Your job is simply to regulate the room. Once your child is calm again, something really important becomes possible. Not punishment, but understanding. You might ask, what was the hardest part? What might help next time? What do you need from me? And this leads to one of the most important ideas in this video. Every meltdown gives us information. It tells us something about the environment that needs adjusting. Across hundreds of families, the same 4 transitions show up again and again. Morning routine. Simplify your mornings as much as possible. Clump all the activities needed done in the same room together. For example, when they get dressed in the room, then they go to the bathroom upstairs to brush their teeth. When everything upstairs is finished, then they can come downstairs for breakfast. When breakfast is finished, then they can go and put their shoes on, put their jacket on, leave the house. So you reduce the amount of transitions needed in the morning. Instead of them going up and down few times, just clump all the activities together. Choose the clothes night before. Limit breakfast options. Pack the bag beforehand. Predictability reduces friction. Another one is school drop-off. This one is hard because it's the goodbye itself. It's a transition inside transition. Use the same goodbye ritual every day, even if it feels repetitive. Predictability equals safety for your child's nervous system. Screens to dinner. This one comes up in almost every family I work with, and it makes complete sense when you understand what's happening. Screens are highly rewarding for the neurodivergent brain. Stopping suddenly feels like a loss. Use timers, use save points. Pause after this level. That one small phrase can change everything. Unexpected change. This is the hardest one because by definition you can't always prepare for it. But you can always acknowledge the disruption first. This wasn't the plan, I know. And then show the new plan visually. Predictability will be restored. Before we finish, there is one factor that quietly makes every transition harder: sleep. Sleep deprivation increases emotional reactivity and reduces regulation, which means the brain has less capacity to switch tasks. So even small transition feels overwhelming. A predictable wind-down routine can make a huge difference. And if sleep is a struggle in your home, that's a whole topic on its own. Let me know in the comments if you would like a video on that too. Because when sleep improves, transitions get easier. That's no opinion, that's neuroscience. So now let's go back to that moment at the beginning of the video. You said those 4 words, "It's time to go," and everything fell apart. That moment doesn't mean you are failing. It means your child's brain is working exactly as it's wired to work. And when you respond with curiosity instead of punishment, you build something far more powerful than a strategy. You build trust, safety, and over time, stronger regulation skills. This week, try one experiment. Think about the hardest transition in your home. Choose one strategy from this video and try it for 5 days. Then come back and tell me what happened. I read every comment. And your questions might become next video. And if you want more evidence-based tools for raising neurodivergent kids without losing yourselves in the process, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.